Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the latest developments in Ukraine, where the conflict has taken a dramatic turn. The skies above Eastern Europe are now a critical battlefield, and Ukraine has proven that it can dominate from above. Recent reports suggest that Ukrainian forces are not just defending. They are actively challenging Russian aerial supremacy in ways that were previously thought impossible. For years, Russia's air power has been a central pillar of its military strategy. However, Ukraine has now deployed a combination of advanced drones, agile fighter jets, and innovative tactics that have allowed them to push back against Russian dominance. The impact of this shift is not just military, it is psychological. Russian forces, which once operated with a sense of invincibility in the air, are now encountering constant threats. This has forced a reassessment of strategies across the front lines. The Ukrainian Air Force has expanded its drone operations significantly. These drones are not just for reconnaissance, they carry precise weaponry capable of hitting critical Russian targets with minimal exposure. Supply depots, ammunition caches, and even command posts have been compromised in recent weeks. The precision of these strikes has minimized Ukrainian casualties while causing significant disruptions in Russian operations. It's a new kind of warfare, one where the skies themselves become a decisive battlefield. Moreover, Ukraine's fighter jets have begun to coordinate closely with these drone operations. By using drones to scout and disrupt Russian defenses, Ukrainian pilots can execute strikes with enhanced precision. Reports indicate that several Russian aircraft have been forced to retreat or have been destroyed before even reaching their intended targets. The combination of drones and manned aircraft has created a layered aerial defense that Russia is struggling to penetrate. The psychological effect of this aerial dominance cannot be overstated. Russian troops on the ground are reporting heightened caution, slowing movements, and avoiding open terrain. Every convoy becomes a potential target from above. Ukrainian drones hover silently, sometimes for hours, before striking, creating an environment of constant uncertainty. This shift has not only slowed Russian advances, but has also impacted morale significantly. Ukraine has also invested heavily in electronic warfare. By disrupting Russian communications and radar systems, Ukrainian forces are effectively blinding the enemy, making it harder for them to respond to aerial threats. Russian air defense systems, which once provided a sense of security, are now unreliable in the face of these advanced countermeasures. Ukrainian commanders have reported multiple instances where Russian missile systems failed to engage incoming drones or aircraft, allowing Ukraine to strike key positions unchallenged. One of the most significant changes has been the integration of intelligence gathered from multiple sources. Satellite imagery, intercepted communications, and drone reconnaissance are all fed into a central command system. This allows Ukrainian forces to anticipate Russian movements and target critical assets with incredible efficiency. The ability to predict where Russian units will move next is a force multiplier that has allowed Ukraine to dominate skies with minimal resources compared to the scale of the Russian military. Additionally, Ukraine has been using long-range precision missiles in coordination with its aerial operations. Drones identify and track high-value targets, and these missiles strike with pinpoint accuracy. Russian supply lines have been severely disrupted as a result. Key logistics hubs have been destroyed or forced to relocate, creating chaos behind enemy lines. The combination of aerial dominance and precision strikes is forcing Russia into a defensive posture that they were not prepared for. Ukrainian tactics have also adapted to counter Russian electronic countermeasures. While Russia attempts to jam communications or disable drones, Ukraine has developed systems that can operate autonomously or switch frequencies rapidly, ensuring that operations continue despite interference. This adaptability demonstrates a level of innovation that has allowed Ukraine to level the playing field against a much larger adversary. The role of small, highly trained units on the ground cannot be ignored either. Ukrainian special forces work closely with aerial units, identifying targets and coordinating strikes in real time. This integration of ground intelligence and air power has amplified the effectiveness of Ukraine's operations. Every strike is calculated, minimizing collateral damage while maximizing strategic impact. It's a precision approach that undermines Russian confidence in their own planning. Reports from Russian-occupied territories indicate rising fear and confusion. Air raids are increasingly unpredictable, and Russian troops cannot anticipate where Ukraine will strike next. This uncertainty is causing hesitation in movements and deployments, slowing Russian advances and creating openings for Ukrainian ground forces. The skies have effectively become a force multiplier for Ukraine's overall strategy. Ukraine's air strategy is not just about destruction, it's about shaping the battlefield. By controlling the skies, Ukraine forces Russia to disperse its forces, split attention, and allocate resources defensively rather than offensively. Russian units must now prioritize protecting supply lines and air defense positions, which weakens their capacity to mount coordinated offensives. This strategic leverage is transforming the dynamics of the conflict. International experts are closely observing these developments. Military analysts point out that Ukraine's use of drones combined with manned aircraft represents a shift in modern warfare tactics. The focus is on mobility, precision, and technological integration rather than sheer numbers. It's a model that other smaller nations might study for future conflicts, proving that innovation and strategy can counteract conventional military superiority. The conflict has also showcased the importance of resilience. Ukraine's forces operate under intense pressure, yet they continue to innovate. New drone models, updated software for targeting systems, and refined operational tactics are constantly being introduced. Every engagement provides data that informs the next operation. This iterative approach is giving Ukraine a competitive edge in an environment where traditional measures of strength might favor Russia. Russian air operations have not disappeared entirely, but they are increasingly cautious. High-value targets are shielded, air patrols are limited, and reconnaissance missions are often aborted due to fear of Ukrainian interception. This cautious approach slows operations and reduces overall effectiveness. Ukrainian forces are capitalizing on this, striking targets that are vulnerable precisely because Russian forces cannot maintain an aggressive aerial presence. One of the most visible signs of Ukraine's growing air dominance is the increasing footage of Russian vehicles and installations destroyed from above. Satellite images and on-the-ground recordings show a pattern. Wherever Ukraine focuses its aerial attention, Russian capabilities are crippled within days. From ammunition depots to fuel convoys, the pattern is clear. Ukraine controls the skies and uses that control strategically. Drone strikes have become a form of psychological warfare as well. The constant presence of unmanned aircraft overhead creates anxiety and uncertainty among Russian troops. Soldiers report sleepless nights, constant vigilance, and fear of sudden strikes. Morale, already tested by months of conflict, is being further undermined by the feeling of being watched and targeted from above. The integration of commercial drone technology with military applications has also played a role. Ukraine has modified commercially available drones to carry weapons or relay intelligence. This cost-effective approach allows Ukraine to field a large number of drones quickly, overwhelming Russian defenses in certain sectors. It's a testament to resourcefulness and adaptability in modern conflict scenarios. Air dominance has also impacted humanitarian and civilian considerations. By targeting supply chains and command structures precisely, Ukraine minimizes collateral damage to urban areas while achieving military objectives. This careful planning demonstrates a level of strategic thinking that prioritizes both military and civilian considerations, a sharp contrast to the broader, less discriminate strikes that have sometimes characterized Russian operations. The dynamic between air and ground operations is becoming more pronounced. Ukrainian tanks and infantry units can maneuver more freely when Russian aerial threats are suppressed. Conversely, Russian ground forces are hampered when Ukrainian air units dominate the skies. This interdependence underscores the strategic value of controlling the aerial domain and its ripple effects on overall battlefield operations. Ukraine's success in the skies has also influenced international support. Allies and partners are taking note of effective strategies that combine technology, precision, and intelligence. Military aid, particularly in the form of advanced drones, sensors, and communications equipment, has been accelerated. These contributions further enhance Ukraine's capacity to maintain air dominance and protect its sovereignty. Strategically, the implications are long-term. Ukraine's ability to dominate the skies shifts the conflict from one of attrition to one of tactical maneuvering. Russian forces must now rethink supply routes, troop deployments, and attack strategies. The simple presence of Ukrainian aerial assets forces a constant reassessment of operations, stretching Russian resources and attention. The combination of air superiority and intelligence-led strikes has created a feedback loop. Successes in the air provide data and confidence for future operations, enabling increasingly sophisticated maneuvers. Each engagement reinforces Ukraine's capability to anticipate Russian responses, strike critical targets, and maintain momentum in an otherwise unpredictable theater of war. From a technological perspective, the integration of AI and automated targeting systems has been critical. Drones can identify high-value targets, assess potential collateral damage, and execute strikes with minimal human intervention. This reduces risk to Ukrainian personnel and increases operational efficiency. The fusion of human judgment and machine precision has created a force multiplier that Russia has struggled to counter effectively. The conflict is also highlighting logistical challenges for Russia. With air dominance slipping, supply chains are vulnerable, resupply missions are risky, and forward positions become increasingly isolated. Ukrainian forces exploit these vulnerabilities, cutting off reinforcements and creating pockets of inefficiency. Over time, this strategy wears down Russian capacity to sustain operations effectively. Ukrainian pilots and drone operators are gaining invaluable combat experience as well. Every sortie provides lessons in tactics, enemy behavior, and coordination. This experiential learning contributes to continuous improvement in operations. The longer this dominance is maintained, the more skilled and adaptive Ukraine's forces become, further widening the gap between them and their adversaries. International military observers are comparing Ukraine's tactics to modern hybrid warfare doctrines. Precision strikes, drone integration, and psychological operations are all hallmarks of a new kind of conflict, one where technology and adaptability can outweigh sheer numerical strength. Ukraine's example demonstrates how smaller, agile forces can leverage modern tools to achieve strategic victories against larger, conventionally superior opponents. The ongoing evolution of air warfare in Ukraine is also setting a precedent. Drones, electronic warfare, precision munitions, and intelligence integration are shaping future doctrines globally. Nations observing these developments are likely to reassess how air power can be utilized effectively in both defensive and offensive operations. Ukraine's experience serves as a real-time case study in modern aerial dominance. Russia's response remains constrained. Attempts to deploy counter-drones, increase air patrols, and reinforce air defenses have had mixed results. Ukrainian forces anticipate these moves, adjusting strategies to exploit weaknesses and maintain momentum. The resulting dynamic is one of continuous adaptation, where Ukraine holds the initiative and Russia reacts defensively. As the skies remain contested, Ukrainian forces continue to innovate. New drone models, electronic countermeasures, and coordinated strike systems are constantly introduced. Each improvement further solidifies Ukraine's position and complicates Russian planning. The strategic advantage is cumulative. Every successful operation strengthens both capability and confidence for future engagements. The impact of air dominance extends to the international perception of the conflict as well. Ukraine's ability to challenge Russia from above sends a powerful message about resilience, innovation, and tactical proficiency. Allies are more willing to provide support, while adversaries are forced to recognize the effectiveness of asymmetric strategies in modern warfare. In summary, the war has entered a new phase where control of the skies is decisive. Ukrainian drones, fighter jets, and electronic warfare systems are creating a multi-layered approach that disrupts Russian operations, undermines morale, and reshapes the battlefield. Air dominance is not just a tactical advantage. It is a strategic game changer, enabling Ukraine to dictate the tempo and direction of engagements while forcing Russia onto the defensive. Every strike, every maneuver, and every operation demonstrates that modern warfare increasingly depends on technology, coordination, and adaptability rather than sheer numbers. Ukraine's success in the skies is a testament to strategic innovation, resilience under pressure, and the effective integration of intelligence and technology. The implications of this shift will be felt not just on the battlefield, but in the broader context of global military strategy for years to come. As the conflict continues, one thing is clear. Ukraine's ability to dominate the skies has fundamentally altered the dynamics of the war. Russian forces are facing a new reality where traditional assumptions of air superiority no longer hold, and Ukrainian forces are proving that with ingenuity, determination, and strategic planning, they can achieve remarkable results even against a larger adversary. This aerial dominance is more than just a series of successful strikes. It represents a shift in power dynamics, a test of modern military doctrine, and a clear demonstration that control of the skies can decisively influence ground operations. Ukrainian forces continue to innovate, adapt, and execute operations that challenge conventional expectations, forcing Russian forces to react and rethink their strategy at every turn. The war is far from over, but Ukraine's current dominance in the air is a defining feature of this stage of the conflict. It shows that even in a war with a heavily armed adversary, innovation, precision, and intelligence-driven operations can tilt the balance. The lessons learned here will not only shape the remainder of this conflict, but may influence military strategy worldwide for decades to come. Ukraine's rise in aerial dominance is a story of resilience, strategy, and innovation. It is a reminder that in modern warfare, the ability to adapt, anticipate, and execute with precision can outweigh raw power. The control of the skies has allowed Ukraine to impose its will on the battlefield, disrupt enemy operations, and demonstrate that technological edge combined with tactical ingenuity can redefine the rules of engagement. As we watch these developments unfold, it is clear that Ukraine's forces are not just surviving. They are shaping the battlefield. Their success in the air provides a roadmap for how smaller, agile, and innovative forces can challenge larger adversaries. It emphasizes the importance of technology, coordination, and strategy in modern conflicts. In the coming months, the focus will likely remain on maintaining and expanding this aerial dominance. Ukraine's ability to integrate drones, jets, electronic warfare, and intelligence into a cohesive operational framework sets them apart. Russian forces will continue to test this dominance, but the current evidence suggests that Ukraine has established a significant strategic advantage in the skies, one that will influence the course of the war and the future of military doctrine globally. Control of the skies has proven to be more than a tactical victory. It is a strategic shift that impacts every level of the conflict. Ukrainian forces continue to leverage every advantage, striking critical targets, disrupting supply lines, and maintaining pressure on Russian operations. The results speak for themselves. Ukraine dominates the skies, and this dominance is reshaping the entire battlefield. The significance of this cannot be overstated. Aerial dominance provides Ukraine with freedom of movement, enhanced operational intelligence, and the ability to strike decisively at critical targets. It forces Russia into a reactive stance, complicating their plans and slowing their advances. The psychological impact on Russian forces adds an additional layer of advantage, undermining morale and confidence in leadership. As the conflict evolves, Ukraine's continued focus on innovation and tactical adaptation will likely maintain their aerial superiority. New technologies, refined strategies, and lessons learned from every engagement contribute to an operational environment where Ukraine holds the initiative. This initiative is critical in determining the tempo and outcome of future operations. In conclusion, Ukraine's dominance of the skies represents a turning point in the conflict. It demonstrates the power of precision, intelligence, and technological integration in modern warfare. By controlling the aerial domain, Ukraine has not only disrupted Russian operations, but has also redefined the strategic landscape. The implications are profound, both for the current conflict and for the evolution of military strategy worldwide. Every strike, every drone sortie, and every coordinated operation reinforces a simple truth. In modern warfare, the skies are decisive. Ukraine's ability to maintain air superiority under challenging conditions highlights the importance of innovation, resilience, and strategic thinking. This new phase of the conflict is characterized by aerial dominance, operational efficiency, and a reshaping of battlefield dynamics that Russia is struggling to counter. The war continues, but one fact is undeniable. Ukraine now controls the skies. This control provides a strategic edge that extends far beyond the immediate battlefield. It impacts logistics, morale, planning, and international perception. Ukrainian forces have demonstrated that with ingenuity, determination, and the effective use of technology, it is possible to challenge and overcome even the most formidable adversaries in modern warfare.